In this video here, we're going to show you how to create your own booking calendar with automated reminders to reduce the no-shows, right? Have you ever had a meeting where there's a no-show? Kind of sucks. In this video, we're going to show you in just a few quick minutes how to set up your calendar and have notifications reminding people about your appointment, so that way it'll improve your show-up rate, which in turn improves your sales. So with that, let's dive in. So on my screen here, we have what we call a digital business card landing page, but really talking about meetings for this video here. On here, I have a button where people can book a meeting publicly, but you may also self-book in the background. But our system has the ability to have all sorts of meeting types of different links and even charge people to book time with you. Sometimes when people make a deposit, my mentor used to say, when people pay, they pay attention. But here we go. Let's walk through making a calendar that you can choose to show publicly, or maybe it's just private for you in the background. But it's just a cool feature that we give our members a part of SoloLink. And inside of that, let's dive in. So calendars here on the left. It shows a calendar within the background of the system. And then you would just click calendar settings up in the top corner here. Once you do that, this is where there's a list of all sorts of calendars. And that's where you can have multiple calendar types that can be picked to be shown on a page. And we can separate from you or different members of your team who sees which calendars on which pages. But if I was going to create a new calendar, I would just click create new. And that's where I get to choose different calendar types. These kind of has explanations below them, but a lot of times people either have a personal booking calendar or they're doing some sort of an event, if you will. Sometimes though, if it's a group where maybe we need multiple members of our team, we can do collective booking where it's checking multiple people's calendars to find the time everyone's available. Super cool. But in this video here, we're going to dive into a personal booking calendar. So if I was creating one, which I already have one kind of pre-made right now for the demonstration purposes, literally I could click the pencil or start from scratch. Once you have one in, there's just a few fields we fill in. I'm just going to walk through them real quick. Do you want to have an image or a logo? You can, don't have to. But what's the name of it? Is there a description? We talked about grouping them. This is where if you wanted to group yours away from everyone else, i.e. where they see multiple on a page. If you leave it blank, you can just send direct links to that calendar. You don't have to group them. And then the title invite is like, what's the subject in the email and on the calendar? So a lot of times I like to say it's like personal meeting and kind of put their name. And if you're going, wait a second, how do I come up with this cool that we call them custom values? This little tag, if you will, you can say contact, full name. See, it pulled it up for us. So that's where you're able to pull in the person booking, whether you're booking it for them or they've booked themselves, their information. So they see their name in the appointment title. That's a little thing that kind of helps. If you're using Google calendars, you can also pick what color this appointment goes on your calendar. Just a cool little feature, but really, matter of seconds. What's my name, description, am I grouping it, and what do I want the title of the meeting to be? Then we have stat and location. So it's for, Mindful Molly is our example person here. That's for who this is going to be. 4 on the team, whether it's you or a member, and then where's the meeting going to be at? You can actually have different locations. So you can have is this a Zoom call? Is this in person? Is it at a coffee shop? You can kind of pick and choose what the locations are to allow them the choice or you while you're booking for them. So you're just picking locations or a different team member. Then we get into availability, and every person's availability may be different. This is where you could then come here and select when's the availability of this. You may be available for work all day, but not for booking meetings. You might only take afternoon meetings or mornings. So you can edit this schedule based on this calendar, or you can even do date specific. So literally in a matter of minutes, we've got our basic details, who it's for, our availability, and then any rules. Let's talk through this a minute. So if I'm looking at my calendar here, this is a 10-minute meeting. That's a 20-minute meeting. This is 45. This is 1 hour. Notice if I come back up here, let me get back to the other meeting interval. I'm going to get to that in just a second, but how long is this meeting? That's where you're saying how long. Interval is how often they're picking it when you're looking at time. So it's like 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30, or is it on the 15-minute, 11, 11:15, 11:30, 11:45? What are the intervals? Then do you want to have certain scheduling notice? Like, yes, maybe this calendar is publicly, but I always want a 2-day notice. I see most people usually lean towards at least one. Very rarely do I see someone say same day. Some do, but very rarely. Usually it's 1 to 2 days notice, meaning they can't book more than 1 or 2 days out. So you have time to plan and prepare for said meeting instead of being like, oh shoot, now I have a meeting in 1 hour. I didn't know. You can set up how far in advance. Also, how far out? Do we want people to book months out? Probably not. If there's an interest, it's not going to be hot by the time we get there. Generally, I see 2 weeks, sometimes 3. That seems to be the sweet spot because it also shows more availability, because maybe this week you're already busy, but they can meet you the next week or week after. So usually I see people switch it 2 weeks and do like 3 weeks out. Now, buffer time, post or pre, do you need any setup time before meeting, or do you need after meeting closeout time, if you will? Like, do you prep for the meeting 10 or 15 minutes, and then do you maybe after meeting want to type in notes? You can define that and say, hey, I want 15 minutes before every meeting, 15 minutes after. So let's talk about that for a second. That means it's looking for a half-hour meeting with at least a 30-minute slot, but also 15 before, 15 after. So it's really looking for 1 hour. So if you add these numbers, it's like looking for an hour slot. So you get the 15 minutes before, 30 minutes after, 15 minutes. Then maximum bookings per day, you may say, yeah, I'm available all day, but I only take 2 of these calls in a day, right? So you can define how many of these meeting types, because your business probably requires work to be done. So you can't meet with people all day. So you can actually limit that and say, hey, we only meet this many. And usually people, unless you're doing some sort of group calls, they say only 1 person per spot. What's also kind of cool, so you don't look completely busy, you can say like hide 50%, so it blocks, so it won't show like you're available all day. You might go, yeah, I'm available all day, but I don't want people to see that I'm available all day. So you can actually hide 50% of your meetings. It's kind of a cool little thing. Now, forms and confirmations, by default, first name, last name, email, message. If you need a custom form, our system has the ability, you can make custom forms that if you want to ask very specific questions based on a calendar, you can have a custom form selected. But generally it's just name, email, phone, and a message. Now, consent, just saying that they consent that they want to hear from you. Do you want them to allow them to bring guests? Sometimes people want to invite guests. Maybe you're meeting with the main person, but they need to bring other members of their team. You can allow guests to be there or not. It's up to you. And then confirmation page, usually by default, I might change this. So I like to say like auto confirm appointments, where that might be a little bit further down in here. Oh yeah, see how it says auto confirm? I like to leave that on because when they book, they're confirmed in my world. Some may not want to do that. I look at it as it is, that I'm available. They can book it. You're confirmed. I sometimes will change this message and say your appointment is now booked, because I like auto confirm on. But I just say like, show them a message. You can take them to a thank you page or congrats, but generally they book, they just see a message, good to go. Not saying you shouldn't, but simplicity, right? We're doing this in a matter of minutes, because literally I'm almost done going through this, and that's explaining how to do it. If you just walk through and do it in a matter of minutes, you have a booking calendar with automation built in for your business to improve your show up rate. So also diving next, payments. If this is a payment type, you notice on mine, I have different payment types plus free calls depending, right? And so if you think about, if you're representing yourself online, you can have a dedicated landing page. This is sololink.io/card. If you want to see it live, sololink.io/card. But they can book a meeting, and some of these are free, some of these are paid. You also in your appointments can decide, are these paid or not? You can even allow them to make deposits. For example, this GPS session, $150, there's a $50 deposit to start. So it blocks the time. They pay the rest of the day of the appointment. Sometimes if it's a higher ticket thing like photography, I've seen some want something down, but they pay the rest of the day of. So that way it's a micro commitment on everyone's part. Then we get into notifications. This is the automation part. So automation, now when someone books an appointment, I like earlier said, I like to auto confirm. So what I would typically do here is in this pencil icon, I would say I want to enable the contact to get a confirmation email. So it's like, hey, blank, your appointment's been booked. Here's the stuff. Add it to your calendar. And you can click in here and customize it. And then your from name be from your business, and from address from your business email address. You can always send yourself a test. You are the assigned user if it's your calendar or someone else. And then if anyone else on your team needed an additional email, I rarely see that, but sometimes it may be a use case. You can say, we need to notify others, but it's like, I want to know it's being confirmed. I want to send them a confirmation. We're good to go. And there's your welcome email, automatically sent, confirming them with an appointment type. Now, here's where it gets cool. Reminders. We come in here and do the pencil. But again, we're going to enable email, and I'm going to turn off the additional, but the contact. This is where it gets kind of fun. I typically like to say a 24 hours, because it's like the day before, and then a 1 hour. Day before. I find that's the most common that seems to work. It's like the day before they get an email, an hour before they get an email, really helps the show up rate. And again, here's the email. You can put any custom words in here if you want. And then from your business name, your business address, and then do you want to get a reminder 24 hours out? Typically, I don't want a reminder 24 hours, an hour out, but you can, because it's on my schedule. So if you need to, you just turn it on and activate it. From there, I forgot to mention this in the other step, is SMS. Our system has the ability to send text. You can do the same thing and send them a text like, I saw your meeting came in. Your meeting's now confirmed. Looking forward to meeting with you. Similarly, hey, we have a meeting tomorrow. Hey, we have a meeting in 1 hour. This really boosts your show up rate by having SMS as part of the campaign. And so it's sending not just to the contact, right? I might do the 24 hours, like I said, 24 hours before, 1 hour before, they're getting an email and a text. So not only the email we talked about a second ago, they're getting a text. Super cool. Again, I usually turn these off for myself because I know I have an appointment. However, we have a mobile app you put on your phone. Sometimes I like to have it in an app notification, and I might turn this on and say I'm going to send it to me if I'm the assigned user. And then I might say, 10 minutes before, I want my app to say, hey, your meeting's coming up. Sometimes I'll do that, just a little nudge like, oh yeah, my meeting's coming up. Generally, the reminders is more for the person booking or I booked for. WhatsApp, not as many people use that, at least that we work with, but it is there. You can send WhatsApp. But that's how you start to have automated reminders, right? So in a matter of minutes, we set up a calendar. Now we've got automation going out the day before, an hour before. Here's what gets even cooler. You can also have event follow-up. Maybe you want to thank them for their time 30 minutes after the call or an hour after the call. Hey, so great meeting with you today. Really look forward to seeing how we can help further. You can have very similarly the same thing, email and text where you can enable it. And then instead of it being before the call, so if I say enable, go ahead and expand this out. How many hours after the appointment? You might say an hour afterwards. Thanks for the appointment. Feel free to reach out. You can then customize this as well. So then that way you're just delivering kind of a very standout experience. I can tell you the 24-hour reminder, many times I get people going super excited to see you, whether it's the email and or the text they get. People appreciate the little nudge and reminders, and you get responses back. That boosts your show up rate, stands out from the market. You look more professional, and see how we set it up in a matter of minutes. I mean, I'm probably spending more time explaining it than it takes to actually set it up if you do it, right? Now, widget appearance, if you want to embed this, whether you use our system or you have your own website, we have embed codes. You can embed it. That means make it show on a website page. For example, show on a website page. We have the ability to customize some of the look and feel to some degree where it matches your brand colors, but you can also embed the appearance to match your brands and what all it wants to do, show, and tell on whether it's in our system or externally on your own site. And that right there is how in a matter of minutes, you can set up your own booking calendar system with reminders to help people show up. We're going to reduce the no-shows to improve how your business grows. And that's one of the many features and perks of SoloLink. If you'd like to learn more how we can help you do more in less time and automate your business growth, check us out at sololink.io. There's actually a demo video on there. You don't even have to opt in. You can see all that we do to help create leverage for you and your business. That's at sololink.io.